Hello friends, it's Sarah. Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my sister AJ and I are making videos about journaling, about starting our art shop, and about other cozy things. A few days ago, we finished a 30-day challenge where we made a sticker every day for the month of April. Check it out. I decorated my silhouette portrait with all of the stickers that we made. Isn't that so cool? This wasn't our first challenge like this. In February, we did a video every day. And personally, I've done Mermaid in the past, which happens in May. And several years ago, I did Inktober, where I did my own prompt list of Ghibli-inspired pieces. Several of which I've sold the originals of now. It still makes me so happy to look through this book. So maybe you've thought about doing a work-related challenge like 30 Days of Code, or maybe a fitness challenge, or maybe an art challenge like us. I'm specifically going to talk about doing an art challenge today, but either way, you are guaranteed to feel such a sense of accomplishment afterwards. So today I wanted to talk about why you should do a 30-day challenge and give you some tips. I'll also talk about the impacts our last couple challenges had on our social media. Let's jump right in. Okay, so let's start with the why. Why should I do this to myself? So first and foremost, for us artists, I would say that the biggest thing you'll get out of the 30 days is an improvement in your art. Whether you're trying a new medium, or maybe you're trying to draw a new subject that you don't usually draw, or you're experimenting with your art style, you will see a lot of progress as you go. The second reason is to grow your body of work. So if you're looking to create an art portfolio, or you're trying to start an art shop like us, this is a great way to get creative and try new things. Maybe at the end of the 30 days, you have 30 new products that you can put in your shop, or you have 30 new pieces to add to your portfolio. The third reason I would say is to grow on social media. Obviously, this is not mandatory. You can do 30-day challenges without posting anything on social media, but if social media is something that you want to grow in and something that you find important, if you're starting your own art shop or you have your own art shop or you're trying to get clients to do new projects, we know that social media is important to get eyes on our work. Social media is hard and it's constantly changing, but these 30-day challenges will definitely give you some content creation opportunities. Documenting your work and showing the behind the scenes is super cool to show, and I feel like a lot of people like seeing that kind of stuff, but obviously it's more work, so it's really up to you if this is a goal of your 30-day challenge. I'll talk a little bit later about how our challenges affected our social media. The fourth reason I would say is community, and this definitely applies more to challenges like Mermaid and Inktober, where there's a large global audience that is doing the challenge at the same time as you. It's really encouraging to scroll through and see all the mermaids other people are drawing and all of the prompt lists that people are coming up with that you can join in on during those events. I remember when I was doing Mermaid, I couldn't fully commit to the 30-day challenge, and so I think I ended up doing every other day, or I think I tried to do 10 mermaids in the month. So these challenges are definitely what you want to make of it as well. They are flexible. You don't have to do the 30 days. Whatever makes sense for you. You don't want to overly stretch yourself out either. But I do remember that it was really cool to scroll around and see what other people were doing with their mermaids, or in Inktober, what other people were doing with their ink and what kind of stuff they were drawing. It does feel like the art community is really bubbling during those times. And the fifth reason is the one I mentioned earlier, that sense of accomplishment. After I finish a 30-day challenge, I feel so good. I feel so proud of ourselves. The 30-day sticker challenge that we just did, I'm so proud that we're able to create all of these stickers. It's definitely something that I can look back on and be super proud that we did. Okay, so now that I've convinced you to do a 30-day challenge, I'm going to give you some tips. The first one that I would say, and probably is the most important, is to choose a theme. We want to stay very focused to make this challenge more achievable. And with challenges like Mermaid and Inktober, they're already kind of scoped down for you. In Mermaid, your subject is a mermaid every time. In Inktober, your goal is to use ink. And so think about what you're trying to achieve with this 30-day challenge. If you're trying to get better at oil painting, for example, that is a nice tightening of your theme to make your 30 days very focused. I would even push further and say maybe you want to do 30 days of oil painting of birds, for example. It makes it so that when the next day comes, you don't have to think through a million different options in order to decide what you want to do that day. You know every day you're going to use your oil paints, and you know you're going to draw a bird. You know in Mermaid that you're going to draw a mermaid, and then if you're following a prompt list, you have a specific prompt for that day. During big events like Mermaid and Inktober, you'll find online that a lot of people are running their own prompt list. You can probably find it via a hashtag like Inktober prompt list. So for example, in our challenges, in our last one, we did 30 days of stickers. We know we wanted to do a specific sticker every day. It kept it focused enough that we knew it needed to be simple enough to be a sticker. And then when I did Inktober, I knew I wanted it to be Ghibli focused. Choose a theme to make it easier on yourself. Tip number 2 is kind of similar. It's keep it simple. Put limits in place to make it easier on yourself. So maybe this is a time limit. Maybe every day you only spend an hour on your piece. Maybe it's a size limit. Maybe you want to do mini paintings and they're all 2 inches by 2 inches. As artists, it's very difficult to constantly pump out new creative work. Again, choose a very focused theme, look at prompt lists, and this just helps front load a lot of your thinking. Number 3, I would say, is plan ahead. Even a week before Mermaid, a week before Inktober, choose your prompt list that you want to go with, or make your own prompt list. Figure out each day what is the prompt that you're going to follow. Before we did a sticker a day, I was able to sketch out a bunch of sticker ideas ahead of time on my iPad so that I could just pick and choose which ones I wanted to actually render into a final sticker. In February, when we did a video day, I was a lot less prepared. And it kept me on my toes, which is a good thing, but it ended up being a lot more stressful than it needed to be. Before I do something like the February video a day challenge again, I would jot down a list of video ideas that I would execute on during the month. Tip number 4 is to celebrate your progress. Display your work somewhere where you can see it on a day-to-day basis to encourage you and celebrate and keep yourself pushing forward. This is something that we did with my silhouette, where I put a sticker on each day and then I could see it filling up through the month. It was such a great way to keep us motivated. If you're doing digital art, maybe put it as your phone wallpaper. Maybe send it to a friend. Show people what you're working on. Posting on social media is easy. It's not for everyone, but it's easy and it's a way for people to see your work and celebrate you. And tip number 5 is to make the most of it. At the end of the day, you're doing this for yourself. Things don't have to be perfect. The way that you grow as an artist is by trying new things, pushing your boundaries, and seeing what ways you can challenge yourself. There's no right or wrong when it comes to art, and even if you don't like what you ended up making, that's something that you have now learned about yourself and you can take forward with you. Okay, so those are my tips. Let's take a look at how our challenges affected our social media. Okay, so I don't remember exactly how impactful doing Mermaid in Inktober was because I did them so many years ago, but here's a quick look into how those posts performed. So this was my first Mermaid ever. Not bad, kind of cute. I always used to put a time lapse of my process on each post. This one did not bad, 2,600 likes. And it's not all about the likes. These are just some benchmarks around how my post performed in relation to each other. This mermaid I made with the prompt Star Wars. As you can see, it makes it a lot easier to scope down and figure out what you're going to draw for the day. So I have mermaid and I have Star Wars. And so I have a stormtrooper mermaid. This is one of my favorite mermaids ever. This was for the prompt electric eel and I thought it was so cool. I guess you can see in my comment here that I had 2,000 followers at that time. Kind of interesting. This is another one of my favorite mermaids. The prompt was koi fish, and so I did a koi fish mermaid. Very simple, very straightforward. And then what I ended up doing on a mermaid after that was redraw some of those mermaids. And so you can actually clearly see here the before and after my process between 2019 and 2020. This was a redraw of the electric eel. I think my anatomy in the new one is a lot better, but I think there's definitely still some charm from the year before. And then I also did a redraw of my koi fish mermaid. So from 2019, 2020. I think my anatomy in 2020 is better as well. But I remember that this was pretty hotly debated in the comments. A lot of people liked 2019 better than 2020. Art is subjective. I love being able to see how I changed as an artist between the years. And then here are all the posts that I made during Inktober. You can see that that year I made my own Inktober prompt list that was all Ghibli focused. So the goal is on day 1 you would do something Ghibli with the prompt fly. And so for my first day, I did Kiki on her broom. This one is actually hanging up in my gallery wall right now. It makes me so happy to see these all side by side. And Inktober is one of the ones where I was actually able to do the 30 days straight. As I scroll through, you can see that the engagement is quite varied. I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason when it comes to Instagram. But something that is cool is that I had my own hashtag for Inktober that year. And so this is what I meant earlier when I say a community of people. So if I click that, you can see that there are a bunch of other pieces from other artists that also did my Inktober prompt list. This is actually one from AJ. I remember how happy I was to see art from other people following my prompt list. So special. Okay, let's talk numbers for our 30 days of sticker challenge, where we created a new sticker every day for 30 days. On Instagram, we started at 305 followers and grew to 346, which is a 13% increase. On TikTok, we went from 912 followers to 1,053 followers, which is a 16% increase. And on YouTube, we went from 1,524 subscribers to 1,750 subscribers, which is a 15% increase. I wish there were some magic hacks I could tell you to succeed on social media, but it is very much a mystery box to me. Even though I did really well on social media several years ago, things are different now. Things change constantly, and so really I think just focus on making good art and your audience will come. Okay, so starting with Instagram, here are all of the stickers we made. Instagram is pretty rough. We have kind of an average of 250. We got some outliers like this one, almost 1,000, this Stardew Valley chicken. Every single video was just kind of a time lapse of our drawing of each sticker. And then at the end, we show what it looks like being stuck to my silhouette. All of our videos are like this for the whole month. That was an outlier, and then this one was also an outlier, which is crazy. You can see everything else is around 350 maybe on average. We got some good ones here. And then this one out of nowhere, 15.6 thousand. I don't really understand it. It's the exact same format. For whatever reason, this one popped off. And we usually post around the same time, or we try to anyway, so it could be a mixture of so many things, but for some reason this one hit the algorithm. And so you can look at the insights here. It was very interesting because I remember the day I posted it that I was refreshing and getting like hundreds of views every refresh, which is crazy. And then all of a sudden it stopped. You can see clearly it went up really quick and then like nothing. And then from this, look at how many followers. So we got 15.6 thousand views, which translated to 5 followers, which is just insane. Again, no rhyme or reason. I don't really understand it. Everything else on Instagram, average 300, 350 maybe. Let's move on to TikTok. When I used to post art more frequently, I was only on Instagram, so that's pretty much all I knew. So I expected Instagram to be not as difficult as it is. So anyway, we started our TikTok account after our Instagram account, and it's definitely done way better. So we have 1,053 here versus the 346 here. I think a lot of this is due to actually our February challenge. So 644 for the first video, and you can see that we're kind of maybe a little bit above average compared to the stickers. Like this one has 2,000, but on average maybe around 500. This one has almost 2,000, kind of still hovering around 500, I would say on average. Bit of an outlier for this one, 2,300. Our last one, 615. Not great. But then you look at TikTok, we posted the exact same videos that we posted on Instagram on TikTok. So you can see already like the first one, 944, 3,000, 1,000, 1,000, 2,000. So our average is definitely higher on TikTok. And I do remember that we got a good following from these videos. And some of them are pinned at the top here actually. So several of them, this one got almost 10,000 and then this one's over 10,000. At least there was a higher translation from views to followers, I would say. Let me see if there's analytics here. I never look at this, which is interesting. So new followers just from this one video is 241, which is crazy compared to 15,000 views on one video on Instagram and 5 followers. Quite a big difference. So it's interesting, these were the video day. And then if we look at our sticker viewership wasn't as strong as the video a day in February. I feel like our videos in February were a lot more high effort. It was a lot more stressful to do that challenge. So maybe that translated to viewership. I don't know. Or maybe it's just that kind of video that does better on TikTok. I have no idea. But you can see here our average viewership on TikTok is still higher than Instagram. So around, 900, 900, 500. Honestly, all of them are kind of in the same ballpark. None of them really killed it. There were no major outliers. But let's look at the same one here, right? This one also did decently in the grand scheme as compared to Instagram. And if we look at the analytics here, 4 followers. So almost the same amount of follower translation, except way less views. Our YouTube is generally pretty good, I would say. So let's scroll back actually first to our video a day. Again, we posted the exact same videos. 500, 100, 1,000, 700. Some of them did better than others for sure. So we got some 1.7K here. This one did 3.2K. 1.1, this one did 4.1, a bigger range I would say here for our daily videos in February. And if we pick one, let's look at our top one of these. Trending viewers, subscribers. So we got 22 subscribers from this one video, 4,000 views. Some kind of videos are probably better on some platforms, but at this point where we're so small, I think it's better to just post everything. Okay, and then I would say our stickers actually did quite well on YouTube. So if we look at them starting from our last one, we had 809, 1000, 1000, 1.3 thousand, 1.2, 1.2, 1, 1.8. They're all actually quite good, except there was one, this one, that had 46. Who knows? Everything else is like over 1000. And obviously, there's nothing to say that you can't take something down and repost it. But I think for us, it'd be weird because it's once a day, every day for 30 days. But in general, you can always take stuff down and repost it. The average on YouTube is higher than both Instagram and TikTok. Again, I wish I had a secret trick that could make us all successful on social media. I think your goal for these 30-day challenges is to come out on the other end proud of yourself and proud of what you created during those 30 days. Out of all of the stickers I made during the 30 days, these are probably my favorite. So even though we may not have killed it on social media, I'm really proud of all of these stickers. I hope that was interesting. One final thing that I'll add here is that if you're posting on social media, you should definitely repurpose the content. Just because you made a single sticker doesn't mean you only have to create one post about it. So we posted a reel every day in the month of April for each sticker that we made. An example of a way that we can repurpose that is, for example, we can make a carousel of our 3 favorite stickers or our least favorite stickers. I can make a combo reel where I show every sticker across the 30 days. Again, as an artist, it's not natural for us to constantly make new art. And so extend the life of the art that you've already made. And of course, several of the stickers that we made in April will be going into our shop. So if you're interested in any of those, head to nookends.com and sign up for our newsletter where we will send you an email when our shop officially launches. Surely that'll be soon. And the last thing I will leave you with today is, would we do this again? Personally, I want to say definitely yes. I'm a big fan of streaks and a big fan of challenges, and I love that sense of accomplishment that you feel at the end. So I don't think this will be the last of it for us. I don't think we will be doing Mermaid this May just because it's now, but I'm sure we'll be back for another challenge someday. Okay, I hope that was helpful. If it was, leave us a thumbs up and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.